When RFK calls killing vaccine mandates freedom, isn't that just anti-vax stupidity from a man too dumb to realize polio don't care about your politics?
When Poland starts waving Article 4 like a panic flag and Russia's shadow stretches across the border, is that NATO defense or just Europe speed-running the Cold War sequel nobody asked for?
When white-on-white violence happens, it's always a difference of political party. But when it's black-on-black violence, nobody asks. Was the Crip a Democrat defending trans athletes in sports? And the blood a Republican crying about rigged elections? So why does the story change depending on the shade of the shooter?
And when folks line up Obama and Trump side by side, is that really a comparison or just America proving it can't tell the difference between hope and the hustle when both come wrapped in a flag?
This is the state of the world.
We're just here to ask,
Is it time to protest?
or is it time to riot?
Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right, far right, far right.
Protest, protest, protest. Protest, protest, protest.
If he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
Yeah, I stand on that. You're complaining about the 50-second intro. Find a new podcast, okay? We come out once a month. You can do a 50-second intro, and it's powerful, okay?
It's going to be here.
I even included the Proud Boys. I don't know what more else you want. Welcome to Protest or to Riot podcast, episode 3. I'm your host, Nelson, joined my co-host.
Javier, a.k.a. not the white Republican.
Not the white Republican.
Yeah.
The voice of reason, as ChatGPT has called it, okay? Once ChatGPT said you were the voice of reason, I just had to let it go.
They also said I was black, too, last episode. You got to go back to the last episode for that one, but yeah. I like ChatGPT.
Me too.
I like them.
It said I'm an overthinker and a fire starter, and I was like, bet. I made it make Tinder bios for me. I'll show you those later. Comedy. ChatGPT knows me well too well.
Wow.
And I was just playing around. I was just showing a friend like how well my ChatGPT knows me. Welcome to episode 3 of the Protest or Riot, the podcast where we take the news and the politics, look at the facts, and tell you whether this is a time to do a polite protest on your front lawn or show up to the Capitol and storm it. Except if you're black. Don't do that if you're black. But
Please don't. Please don't.
For the love of God.
Please don't.
But a lot to talk about. I thought it was going to be a slow month.
No, it wasn't.
And this last week and a half has just been fucking crazy.
Yes, it has.
Too many topics for us to even get into. Some topics we're only going to talk about. Some you'll have to catch on the Patreon. Shout out to our Patreon. Shout out to our YCC philanthropists. Shout out to our candlelight vigils and our dumpster fires. If you want to be a Patreon, just go to patreon.com/YCC Entertainment and join the team. Come get that extra extended audio for every episode for as long as $1 because we're cheap. We're cheap horse.
Very cheap.
Yeah, you can't find a better deal. Can't find anything in America for $1. Shout out our Sins of Woes. Podcast is always coming out. Blah, 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 blah. If you know, you know. Shout out Blurred Watch, your fandom of all black nerd comedy, entertainment, and film and animation. Blah, blah, blah. And shout out Live Night Vibes on break, but they'll be back October 1st. We'll be back October 1st. So show up, and show out. As far as shout outs, that's all we got. Can we talk about that rumor that was going around that Trump was dead? Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and go straight into it.
Well, my wife is always the, I'll hear she's my social media for the social media.
Based.
Right? So if it happens there, she hears about it, she relays it to me.
Based. I need one of those. Not a wife, right? A social media relayer.
I'm informed.
Yeah, they thought he was like, oh my God, we haven't heard from him in 2 days. He must be. I'm like, oh, what?
No, he's a Blizzard roach, right? He's gonna be around. He's gonna be around. He's not going
Blizzard roach.
Yeah.
Don't even freeze.
No, the Teflon Don.
Now I get that reference.
Yeah. No,
I finally understand that reference now.
They weren't originally referring to him. They were referring to John Gotti.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess Donald Trump is the new John Gotti. He had the sneakers, right? Like he's trying to Trump. He had the sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to like be cool with black people.
Yeah.
The
That was
Teflon,
short-lived.
yeah. But add Teflon Don to it and then see if
That has a
your
whole
sales
new
go
meaning
up.
now.
It is. Yeah.
They thought he was like, because he wasn't, apparently, so lo and behold, what they have revealed to us, okay, not what actually is the case, what they revealed to us is that he has a sickness that causes like inflammation of the veins. That's why, you know how they always make those jokes about how like all of his brain juice is swelling in his ankles?
I was gonna be real ignorant and say what, cankles? Like what? But no, yeah, he
Yeah, basically he's been sick.
right, yeah.
And the question has been going around amongst the political debaters, because that's a field that I'm very in tune with. Is he unfit to to lead the country?
According to the White House doctor, he is the most healthiest person ever to have lived. Okay?
Did you see him walking down the red rope when he met with Putin and he was swerving?
Yeah, listen, because he really wants to be Putin, right? So, Putin got the whole, photo with him being on a horse without his shirt on or something like that. That's what Trump wants to be, right? But he looked
I would hate that for the American people.
He looked very weak.
Yeah, he's been looking like the 9/11 memorial.
Yeah.
That watching him, it was like, my guy, are you awake?
Looks pasty.
Yeah.
That wig is starting to show through.
Your lace friend is moving.
Yeah. I see your tracks.
This is all playful banter, Trump.
You're right.
Okay? So,
no.
Don't take it personally.
With the utmost respect.
All right, now you're glazing.
You're right.
Yeah, they really thought he was gone. It was just so much. I'm telling you, when we were coming into this, I was like, man, it's gonna be a slow week. We're gonna have to like do a little back burner stuff. Okay, maybe we can get to some other things that don't have to do with the White House. And then just like the Epstein photo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. When just watching him sit there and talk week for week, I've never even drawn a picture. And then you see that letter and you're like, bro, that's your signature.
Yeah.
I've watched you sign enough executive letters to know that that's your signature.
Right. And somebody was trying to say like, oh no, that's his signature from the 90s or something. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Your signature doesn't change as time goes on, right?
So the forger like got the time period, right? He was wrong signature, but it's what? That's his signature, y'all.
That's his signature, and that looks like something he would draw. I mean, even the boot was lopsided. So,
yeah, but you all want to keep digging on this. You all want to keep digging on this, right? It's gonna get worse.
Yeah, I like that they preemptively said, hey, we have this letter that Trump said. And then like a month later, they finally released the letter that they had this entire time. And it's just funny because it's like, now they're starting to figure out the game.
Yeah.
Okay. To keep it relevant, talk about it a little.
Yeah.
And then find a way to bring it back up.
Yeah. But
in the sense of like the relevancy keeps increasing because you talked about, we have this letter that he sent to Epstein. And then, we're talking about it, and when it starts to die down and we're not talking about the letter that he sent to Jeffrey Epstein, then you release the letter that he sent to Jeffrey Epstein.
You said they start to figure out the game. It sounds like they don't know. They don't have a clue about what they're doing. It's like they're setting themselves up, right? And I don't want to say seeing if they can get away with it, but they're their own worst enemy.
Wait, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Trump team.
Oh,
right?
no. I'm talking about the news the news organizations outside of that, like the ones that originally released that they had the letter, and then finally releasing the letter, like that. That's what I'm saying. They're trying to figure out. Out the game.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. No. I thought you was talking about Trump's team.
They don't know what they're doing.
Trump's team done figured it out.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I think that would have
figured out some things. It's just, it's
not good things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Also, Project 2025 is up to 47%. Okay.
Yeah.
I think when we did episode 2, it was at 42%. Okay, so it's still increasing. All right. Don't call me a conspiracy theorist. Just call me a factualist.
I just want to see the next step.
What's next? Yeah.
Right. Once they get to 51%. All right.
I need to find out if because I'm still trying to play around with the website and appropriately add to protest the riot. I want to know if I can add the tracker to the website.
Okay.
Because it's kind of, important for like a lot of the arguments that we make.
Yeah.
So I think like basically the base plate of what Project 2025 is going to lead to. It's going to be a lot of conversations that we're going to have. So I want to figure if I can like add it to the website.
Yeah.
Just for shits and giggles. Still working on the website. Pretty sure I haven't figured out a name for it. It's probably going to be something like yccentertainment.com/to-protest-to-riot, something like that.
Yeah.
We're working on it though. I've been cleaning up ycc.com. So if you want to see all of our content, just go to yccentertainment.com.
You got a great intro and then you got the tracker. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Like, come on now.
And only 3 episodes. Okay. Most motherfuckers will die. This is their last episode. Okay.
Y'all know ain't nothing in this world free, and y'all just we just giving you gems. Okay.
That part.
Okay. All right.
You ready to go to get into this first topic?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Fuck. So much content to talk about. All right. So RFK Jr. calls vaccine mandates freedom. Freedom? Man, it's just anti-vax cosplay from a Kennedy who couldn't pass a high school biology. He's out here acting like measles is a partisan issue, like polio checks your voter ID before it infects your kids. America barely survived COVID, and now this man wants us to raw dog diseases in the name of liberty. Protest the riot. When freedom becomes a death wish, how long before we realize ignorance is contagious too? Protest for me on this one.
So when you say it like that last part, when freedom, when you kind of generalized it as like, I guess the vaccines and how was it? What was that last part?
Well, technically, it's when freedom becomes a death wish. How long before we realize ignorance is contagious too? But in the sense of the quote is freedom, or the air quote is freedom, because he's saying, oh, we don't need all of this, and this restricts American freedoms, having vaccine mandates and stuff like that.
If there's a general opinion about this, I'm a riot on this one. Right, but if it's more specific to what he's doing,
yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay.
For the sake of the conversation, it is specific to what RFK, and that's just because he's been on the stand lately.
Right, because you know where I was going with that. You
yeah,
definitely,
I know.
You definitely don't want to get to the point where we can't, like, science doesn't matter. You know what I mean, like that, and then
we've been at that though.
Well,
with this new administration, we've been at the science is not important anymore. That's why the whole a lot of the environmental acts have been cut off.
Right. But I think we're at a point where it's just most people don't know that the science community even exists anymore.
True. I'll give you that.
Yeah, because you remember you used to hear like, oh, okay, from the Massachusetts health state of health, something like that. The journal, the New England Journal for Medicine or something like it was like prestigious, right? Or you hear it from like, oh, leading scientist says such and such, right?
Yeah.
You could pretty much be like, oh, okay, that's probably true, right? But now you don't know where are they at. You don't hear them anymore.
Or, well, it's because it's always shut down. Like when you think about like a lot of our political figures that are in power, they're the ones that don't use science to back anything.
Yeah.
They always start, well, I think, well, this is what I want to talk about. Well, this is what I see as important and stuff like that, as opposed to the facts.
Yeah.
Like we did used to rely heavily on the facts. Now people don't care about the facts, or anytime it's a fact, it's always questioned. Like nobody believes the facts anymore.
Right.
Which is why we do this podcast.
Yeah.
Because you don't get to argue the facts.
Yeah.
You get to argue how you react to the facts.
Right. You can have your opinions on the facts.
Yeah. But that's not what we're here to
right,
give.
right,
We're not
right,
giving you the
right.
space for that.
Yeah, no. You should get to listen.
Yeah.
It's time to listen.
Yeah, we're not arguing about the facts. We're arguing about how we react to the facts.
You got 2 ears now. 2 ears. Listen. Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is a protest for me and the vaccine thing. I do think this can lead up to, like, you got to picture a world with RFK as our leader of fucking, what the fuck is he in charge of?
The Health and Human
Resources.
HHS.
HHS.
Yeah.
HHS. Health and Human Services.
Yeah.
And you got to think about, like, what would happen if we had another pandemic with this guy in charge?
Well, they've already they're pretty much making it harder for you to get a COVID vaccine now.
Mhm.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That and
You need a doctor's note to get a COVID vaccine. now.
and which means we're gonna start having less of it on
Correct.
stockpile, right? And y'all remember that this is a new variant
Mhm.
this year. Like, get ready for it, right? There's a new variant. This is I know people be like, oh, this is a new flu, but like this is gonna be. This is
we
something
talked about this. Not we, but like this was a thing that was going on where everybody was talking about the fact that like COVID is going to be the new influenza.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just going to keep morphing and changing and stuff like that. And it's just
And you used to have like a pretty competent and fully manned CDC who this is their job to fight this. There are things going on in nature right now that you have no clue about how it's going to affect you.
Yep.
But, you know, when you take science and medicine seriously, right, you know, maybe we can last a little bit longer, right?
God forbid.
God forbid, right? Because sometimes I'm confused. I don't know if y'all just trying to kill us all off or it's just like, oh, you know, we just waiting to see what the real science is, you know.
Yeah, and you know what, you say that, and I don't know who the target demographic is that you're trying to kill off anymore.
No. I really don't know. I really don't know. Because this one right here, this anti-vax and the vaccines cause autism. That crowd
crazy. That was a crazy statement to say.
That crowd merges some fringe liberals and or you know and the conservatives, right? It like merges this unholy matrimony together, and it's like now you have a poster child in RFK who's actually sitting here. He's putting a professional face on it now. That this is the American opinion.
I need you guys
Don't
to
do that.
understand.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Boy, don't do that. The door stopper. I heard somebody said he sounds like a door stopper. I did not need to hear that. I really didn't need. No, I was like, man,
Door stopper is crazy.
that's when I had to turn TikTok off for a second. I was like, a door? No, because I had to think about it for a second. I was like, oh my God, yes.
You gotta understand that the vaccines
yeah,
are killing all
yeah,
of us,
yeah,
and it's giving us autism.
I removed all my door stoppers in the house. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Start hitting the WD-40 on all the wedges and stuff.
Yes, suddenly you if you ever buy when you buy a house, they give you like little door stopper like backups or whatever. I'm already through all of them already, just because of RFK. Because I just
door stopper is crazy.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing worse than a door stopper speaking.
Did you see that hearing?
Yes, that hearing was, and they were on his ass. He was frantic. He couldn't hold his composure because they were attacking him. Was like, well, you said this and you said that, and you like, we're kind of like most of the hearing I got, or most of what I got out of the hearing was, where are you getting this information from?
The distinguished and qualified senator from Washington, state of Washington, Maria Cantwell, called him a charlatan. I love that word. Do you know how often I use that word? Like that is a word I use constantly, especially in this day and age, right? The president's a charlatan, right?
Mhm.
But she called him a charlatan. And I was instantly mad because I was like, man, you stealing my word. You know, that's my shit. What are you doing?
Bitch. That's like one of them accidental ones that slip out. I didn't mean to call you that. I'm sorry, that one slipped.
You're going to have to pay me some royalties on that one. But yeah,
they was on his ass.
Called him a charlatan. And then the Republican members on the panel was like, hey, you said you wouldn't do this, right? But you did this. Bill Cassidy, senator from Louisiana, was a physician before he was a U.S. senator. Asked him, and during the confirmation hearings, right? And RFK said he would not limit the access to the COVID vaccine. He said that.
Yeah.
Here he is doing it, and he's finally getting called out on it. By the other side, by the Republican Party. And I know that at some point they're going to have to start thinking to themselves like, okay, when lives start getting lost, especially these lives that are my constituents in my state, how long are we going to be able to keep up supporting this administration in good conscience?
Well, it depends. Like the fact that Florida got rid of all of their vaccine mandates for kids, or I think RFK got rid of $500 million.
Yeah.
It was $500 million pulled from vaccine R&D.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
We're in the time where vaccine R&D needs to be the most prevalent thing, especially when you're talking about like the Department of War.
Yeah.
Like we live in that kind of time. Yeah, see what I did there? We live in that time where like chemical warfare is still very much a thing.
Yeah.
It's not just like, I know we like to think that it's only going to be ever technological, but no, we run the risk of running into a chemical warfare again. Why would you cut so much from vaccine R&D?
Biological warfare. And you know what? I think the way that they're operating, it seems like they're playing a game, right? And not a sophisticated game at all. They think this is a game. But like I alluded to before, it is the job of the CDC to fight these maturing diseases and bacteria in nature as it's happening. It's happening, right? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't put too much emphasis before in like us like going to get a flu shot. I didn't need to go to get a flu shot every year. But there's my privilege, right? I didn't need to go get a flu shot every year.
Yeah.
Because majority of the population already had they had the flu shot for that year, for that variant, right? And that's what you're living in, right? Because these these outbreaks like measles, for example, right? That can easily come back.
Mm-hmm.
That can easily come back. The reason that you haven't heard so much of it in maybe like the last 20 years, I know it's coming back up now, but it's because it was already fought at the school, the primary school.
We already have the
elementary
preventative
school
measures in place to
Yes.
prevent a measles outbreak.
Yes.
And that kind of leads to my issue with this entire thing. It's still a protest for me, but my issue with this and why it has the potential to become a riot is what's next.
Yeah.
I get it. You guys hated the COVID vaccines. Cool.
Yeah.
Like, it was still a worldwide pandemic. It shut down the world.
Yeah.
But you guys had an issue with it because the vaccines came out too fast. Cool, whatever. All right. But then what's next? Do we start getting rid of the polio vaccines? Do we start getting rid of measles vaccines? We start getting rid of influenza vaccines.
Right.
Then, what preventable disease is the end of mankind in a sense? I hate to go like that far in extreme, but like that's kind of like where we're going. It's like, okay, you keep trying to cut off all these vaccines. At what point do we say, all right, bro, enough is enough? Like,
I bet you they won't take those STD vaccines off the market.
I don't know about that. They'll probably take the AIDS ones off because they think that's only a black and gay disease.
Sure.
So
they might take that one.
It's only killing off the blacks and the gays. This is perfect for the MAGAs.
The rest of them, for sure, you gonna keep.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah,
but those ones,
God forbid,
kill the blacks and the gays. Jesus.
Yeah, no, it's a protest for me as well. Yeah, there again, because I alluded to this in the last podcast. It's just there's certain steps that I need to see, right?
Yeah.
And also, I want to see the results of some of these actions, right? No, I don't want to see people
Start to peel over and die.
Right. I know I don't want to see that. But what I do want you all to see is, hey, this is what I voted for, right? And in order to get to where I ultimately want to be, right, there's going to be some hard sacrifices, maybe even me and my family, right? And obviously, I disagree with you. I disagree with your choice of vote, right? But if this is what you voted for, right, then you need to go ahead and see how it's playing out in real time, right? Because, yeah, the statistics are going to start looking crazy and getting fudged, right? But again, like we said in the last podcast, you are going to see and reap the repercussions and the consequences of this man's buffoonery. I just really don't understand how you can not take medicine funny or to take it serious. Sorry. I really don't understand how you can, because you will see the results. And again, there are things mutating and evolving in the wild as we speak, and we, for the first time in a long time, might not be prepared for it.
Well, you're arguing against a base that doesn't really believe in evolution. That's why they want to go back. There it is. Real shit, though. You're talking to a base that wants to go back to a time that they still haven't actually given me the year or two. That just wants to go back.
Nelson reminds me of, like, why do I have hope for y'all?
That's my role.
He reminds me. I just want to let you know that I always reserve a smidge of hope in there somewhere, right? I always do.
That's why he's the voice of reason. I'm just a fire starter.
But boy, do I get humbled sometimes.
But like literally, that's the problem. We're talking to a base. We want the base to understand that, hey, like, yeah, we get it. It was like this back in the past, and it's not like that anymore. But you need to understand why it's not like that anymore. It's not because the stroke of God that COVID hasn't killed everybody. No, it's because of vaccines, controlled restrictions, and stuff like that. That's why we were able to get past that. Same for every fucking thing else in the world. Chicken pox, measles, polio, like all of these are things that like we have figured out, we have evolved to get past this. But again, you're arguing to the base that doesn't really believe in evolution.
Yeah,
forward progress.
You think the age of is 80 something or 70 something, 80 something for men or like do you know what the average age for death used to be? You know,
the 20s.
Think about that.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Like think before medicine and, like, I don't know, soap. You know, just think about it. Right?
You're talking to a base that probably doesn't wash their hands after they shit. Because you're not talking to the niggas that like wash their hands.
Again, I just have that smidge of hope in there for you. And
you better than me.
Yeah, I got.
He is better than me, because I ain't got nothing.
Or crazier, depending on how you look at
it. Pick your poison.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. It's a protest from both of us.
I'm going to do a protest on this one.
Yeah. But, RK, step down, bro. When the family starts coming up to you and saying, hey, bro, you're doing too much. Yeah. And the fact that his family has been coming out and saying he's doing too much.
What kind you trying to carve your name in the Kennedy family legacy. And I have absolutely no what kind of lane you try to pull right with this one. But you're not going to be looked at on the top tier side of the Kennedy family.
Agreed.
Whatever that looks like. Right? So.
And it's not because you talk like this.
Definitely not because of that. Definitely not because of that.
We don't care about the sound of your voice. We care about what comes out your mouth.
If you was on the right side of history, that could have been your superpower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have stood out.
Yeah.
You just got to say the right shit.
Yeah. and in the words of you that came out of your mouth, keep it short. Keep it short. Because you don't like to hear your own voice.
Hey. from based off what they've been saying, the solution, him and PH been saying, the solution is just exercise, okay? That's all. We just need to do more exercise. That'll solve everything. I'm here for it. We can go get into this Poland thing.
Good old Poland.
Are you gonna do it?
Yeah. So, Poland invoked Article 4, basically NATO's way of saying, yo, family meeting. Russia is wilding again. But here's the thing. Article 4 isn't defense. It's a discussion. It's the alliance huddling up before the fight breaks out. Problem is, every huddle looks weaker when the bear's already at the door. NATO keeps promising strength, but hesitation looks a whole lot like fear. Protest or riot?
You want to finish the last line, clown?
I was like, yo. Nah. You're right. When allies keep talking instead of acting, how long before deterrence becomes surrender? That was the full thing.
Yeah. We got to do it, boys.
Hold on. I saw a line and I was like, end.
See, we're only in episode 3. We're allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay.
Because your other podcasts make this the last episode, all right? Not us, all right? This one gets a protest from me. My riots are saved for later.
Yeah.
Because I do have some riots for later. This one gets a protest because, but it's another one of those leads to a riot. And that's because the thing about this one was the reason why Poland enacted the Article 4 was because the Russian drones were flying into their territory.
Right.
And they were already doing that before. But this time they finally shot them down.
And if I'm not mistaken, it's only been invoked like 7 times or something like that since
in
its
history.
Inception. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And y'all know what the last one was, right? That's when Russia invaded Ukraine. That was the last time.
And for those of you who don't know what Article 4 is when NATO basically sits down and has a meeting about security issues that affect the countries that are aligned with NATO.
Right.
So that's why Poland enacted it, because basically Russia was flying into their territory. And Russia is like, hey, y'all, we need to figure out what we're going to do about this.
Yeah.
So Russia needs to stop. I know Tulsi Gabbard might disagree, but she's the #1 Russian propaganda machine. Yeah. But Russia needs to stop. And I think these conversations, this should have been enacted. Well, it was already enacted with Ukraine, but the conversation's got to kind of stop, and it's got to turn into some action. Like, y'all need to band together. Basically, what's going on with what I see from NATO and Russia is NATO is basically just banding together to ally Ukraine by sending them equipment.
Yeah.
As opposed to actually taking action. I'm not saying it's, 20v1 against Russia, but
Is there
any other solution to this?
It was, right?
Right.
But
shout out to World War II.
Is that a shout out? Shout out to sanctions, right?
True.
They're not a silver bullet by any means, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what they were doing was isolating the Russian oligarchs because that's how they run out there. And by doing that, right, you can start putting some pressure on Putin to start acting in a different way, right?
Right.
The issue is that Obama raised the sanctions on Russia. Trump actually pulled some back, and then Biden came in and then strengthened the toughest sanctions ever placed on Russia. So I think we see a clear pattern here that Russia wasn't really in a position to, I guess, to make some of the moves that they were making, right? They were struggling in the war with Ukraine when we all thought that would end in a week. We all thought that would end in a week.
I thought it would end in 24 hours.
You mean like when Trump was supposed to end the, end the war on day one, right?
Yep.
Yeah. But surprise, right? They've held it together this long, right? But because of who's in office right now, again, right? We said this the last time. The question now is, can you hold out for 3.5 years?
Wait, who?
Ukraine. But sorry, Poland's next. Poland's next. And all of the former USSR territories are next, right? And, you know, they flew their little drone over there and, you know, Poland was like, nah, you don't get to do that. So if we don't think that there's gonna be an escalation in Russian aggression, we're all being naive. All of us. I don't know. I just feel as though we're not taking Russia serious.
No, we're
Right.
not. 100%.
We're absolutely not taking them serious.
And I think what, and how do I say this while being super pro military, while still being super pro savior-esque to the American people. Yes, we are not taking Russia seriously, but that's because the only thing that comes from taking them seriously is an all-out war. Like, it's very hard to restrict what Russia is as America without basically enacting a war. I'm a firm believer in that.
I also believe, I guess, given it a little bit of context, that Putin is the central figure.
Mm-hmm.
But once he's gone, whatever vacuum fills that space won't be as potent or as controlling of that government as he was.
I actually disagree with that. I think the next will be just as, I don't think it'll be worse, but I think it'll be just as bad, just because there's no shot somebody becomes in charge of Russia and then can't sit there and say, okay, I see what Russia can get away with.
Right, but once he's gone, everybody's going to be jockeying for position, right? And I'm not a Russian political scientist, but what I will say is that just like in most cases, when your movement and the entire power structure is centered around a central figure, it's very difficult to grab on to that power that person had when that person's gone, and you have to now draw together all of the coalitions that made up that person's base or that person's support. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
I am disagreeing with you, but I'm not disagreeing with you in the way that it might seem. I can't see somebody else being able, like, oh, I'm going to be the next person in charge of Russia, and we're going to run this completely different.
Right.
And we're going to take a backhand to a lot of, like, land conquering and trying to flex our power and stuff, like, and telling the rest of the world. I don't see somebody else coming into that role.
Yeah.
But again, like yourself, I'm not a Russian political scientist. So maybe there are people, maybe there are rumblings in the world and stuff like that. But let's kind of be realistic about this. Russia is the number 2 in the world as far as, like, power.
Sure. You talking about nuclear weapons?
I'm talking about in general, like actual power. Who else would be number 2?
China.
Same thing.
No. No.
All right. But I think China depends on too much from other people, where that's why they're not the number, as far as like global power.
No, they definitely the globe.
Yeah,
second.
as soon as I said that,
I was
I
like, no.
instantly redacted on that inside my head.
Let me check, tag check. Yeah, tag check. Yeah.
Where's my clothes from?
Right.
All right. Okay.
Let me take apart this iPhone really fast. Show
right,
you
fair enough.
the inside.
So for Russia to maintain, it's number 3.
Yeah.
For Russia to maintain its number 3,
Yeah.
yeah, they would have to like. I don't see them like basically giving up that role.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't see America or China doing the same either.
Well, here's the thing with this war that they're fighting, right? I don't know if you know, they actually up the pay of their soldiers. They up the pay to like, I think it's almost, it might come out to like $60,000 US, right?
Mm-hmm.
But think about what they're doing, right? And if this can truly last, like basically what they're doing, right, is saying, hey, I'm going to take some of the pressure and the responsibility off of us trying to justify this war, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pay you more money, right, for a war that you don't want to fight, right? Because they implemented the draft. That's why I'm talking about this. They had Russia implemented their draft, right? So basically, they're turning their military force into mercenaries, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
And you know that's a slippery slope to becoming a sociopath.
We're turning our military into police officers.
Sure, absolutely. Right?
Conversation for another time.
In reverse, right? You know, because we want to be like, not we.
They want to be like.
They want to be like Russia. But where's the patriotism in that, right? Because it doesn't change the fact that you still don't want to fight this war,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I mean, I wasn't alive during this time, but you know, I know the Vietnam War. You know, when they implemented the draft, I know that was
a war we didn't want to fight.
Right. And what type of fighting force does that really create? It's going to be a bunch of folks trying to start up some defense contract companies, right? Right.
Get patents.
Blackwater, you know what I'm saying? This is what you're creating, right? And I'm not trying to like help them or anything like that. I'm just saying that as soon as you start thinking that somebody has it together in the world, like somebody else is like, oh, they're winning right now, right? No, they're involved in the chaos just like we all are.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't necessarily think that anybody in the world is making good moves right now.
Agreed. And I think again, when the front runner of the world is making the worst mistakes, what else do you expect the rest of the world to do? The bar is different now. The standard is different now, and I don't know what the goal is other than to get back to a undetermined or unsaid time. That's kind of the issue with it is like, yeah, we keep saying we want to go back to basically the World War II era without having Russia as our enemy.
As our ally, or just a country that we can go buy vacation property in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know what the end goal for all of this is from our side. So then it kind of makes it harder to determine what the end goal is for the rest of the world. Because again, America is the front runner of the world stage.
Yeah.
So even though we don't want to be anymore, because what did you say last time? They want the title, but not the responsibilities.
Yeah.
Bad
Prestige,
supervisor.
Yeah.
Just a bad supervisor. So, but it's for right now where it is right now it's a riot. I mean, it's a protest for me. But obviously we'll be keeping our ears glued to it because it's always something with Russia.
Yeah, there's like a smaller percentage of energy that I'm putting towards this one. Because it's like we're going in circles, right? America,
we tell Russia stop, Russia says fuck y'all, starts again. Or we tell Russia stop, Russia says fuck y'all.
I was thinking more of the lines that we are like, we trying to be like them, they're trying to be like us, right? It's this circle, right?
Yeah.
This circle. When
I thought we were trying to be more like Korea.
Listen, some of the things I've heard, and you know, we've talked about Project 2025. It sounds like trying to be like Germany back in the day.
Back in the day. All you
But-
Elon fans,
Yeah.
ready your salute.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. But
ready your fucking salute.
But I do think that my final point is, if you pay attention to history and we've been able to travel and go to different places in the world. America is not the world, y'all.
Yeah.
It's not.
Get your head out of your ass.
It's not. But we are in a really fortunate place, or we're in history to be able to shape the direction of the world. And what we're doing right now is leading with chaos, right? And the rest of the world who relied on a steady hand is seeing that, and we are no longer trustworthy. I know we're talking about Poland and Russia, but Qatar just got bombed.
Again.
Qatar, Doha. And for those who don't know, Doha, which is the capital of Qatar, is the Switzerland of the Middle East.
Yep.
It's where we go to make all our deals and to broker peace. We have a military base out there that we lease from them.
Yep.
Right? So, also for those who don't know, we are their protection pretty much.
Yep.
Right?
Well, us and Hamas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had to throw that one in.
Yeah. And you go over there and you, what did they do? They bombed the Hamas building, or what was it?
They started bombing residents because they were trying to bomb the the political figures that were there.
Right, and because the Hamas their headquarters is there in that neighborhood, right? But Qatar is a sovereign country. I couldn't believe it when I heard it.
Yeah.
I had to do a double take.
Remember, this is the second time though. They just bombed Qatar, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
They just fucking bombed them. So
it was the base that time,
yes,
right?
They actually
it was aimed at the base, right?
Al Udeid.
Yeah.
Out in Qatar. So yeah, shout out to Israel for being able to get away with whatever the fuck they want.
I'm just saying. It's been countless presidents.
We're probably gonna get canceled for that one.
that have had to deal with Netanyahu, right? And the one who is the most inconsistent in character, I will say, right, is the one he's trying to take advantage of and do all the things that they already wanted to do. And I know, and I'll be fair to Orange Man, that this war, this escalation between Israel and Palestine, it didn't start in his administration, right? But my God, is it going to hell in a handbasket at a faster rate during his tenure?
Well, good thing it hasn't been 24 hours yet.
Yeah, it's the longest 24 hours of my life.
You think 24 hours is bad? Wait till you see 4 years.
You know if that was actually true, that would be my own personal hell. That I actually wake up and the war is solved, and it's only just 24 hours into his administration.
Yeah,
meanwhile, it was 4 years. It took him 4 years to do it.
Yeah, and it's not no shot. Any of this is going to be done in 4 years.
No. None
of it. Not at the pace he's moving. Not at the way he's moving. It's
It's going to be hard for the next person who's probably going to be 1,000 times more competent than he is, right? It's going to be hard for them to broker peace. It's a reason why it hasn't been done yet.
If there's a next person.
That part. But, again, pay attention to the rest of the world. Pay attention to what's going on in the world. And just keep an eye out, right? Keep an eye out on the chaos and keep an eye out on the actors on the world stage who feel like this might be an opportunity, right? To go ahead and start making the move they really wanted to make now that they feel America is weaker.
I agree. It's kind of like the backlash that we're dealing with. I'm sorry. For this situation, what was your
I'm protesting this. Yeah.
That's the back end of everything that we're kind of dealing with is we're just giving too much opportunity to too many other countries to kind of just roll in and take advantage of both the circumstances and America itself. This is really bad. We are right now we are at a point where we are the worst leaders of the free world.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I stand on that. Like, I agree with him. Keep your own eyes open. I mean, we'll come in, we'll cover it and everything like that. Obviously, there's certain things that we can't say, like, Israel can do whatever they want.
We ain't even get to France. We ain't even get to France. Yeah.
There's some things we can't really come in here and say because, it's cancel culture high right now, and especially after the assassination. So everything's being monitored, per se.
You said assassination?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see what you did there. We'll talk about that after the Patreon. They're not getting it for free. You have to pay me and then fire me.
Bring it on, Pete.
You're gonna have to pay me and then fire me, okay?
Pete. Peace off the bottle.
Shout out to the Department of War.
Pete is off the bottle.
Yeah, we can roll it too. Wait, did you got any other topics you want to just dabble in before you do your monologue and send these non-NDA signers on the way?
No, I think that was it.
Bet.
Yeah.
Javier's gonna hit y'all with his monologue, and we're gonna see you non-NDA signers on the way. But once we roll into the Patreon, we will definitely be talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination attempt. The Charlie Kirk assassination, not attempt. And Javier wants to get into a huge bag about Obama versus Trump. We're comparing them.
Yeah, I got yeah. It's crazy.
And I'm going to have fun just ad-libbing the entire time.
Sorry, Obama. Like, it's trust me, I held you up in the highest regard. Absolutely, but Trump, there's something there. We'll talk about it though. There's something there.
You can roll into your monologue whenever you're ready.
All right. When Barack Obama left office, Democrats had the map. They had the coalition, young people, black voters, suburban moderates, college-educated whites. A coalition so sturdy, so seemingly unbreakable, that it should have carried Hillary Clinton across the finish line. But it didn't. The tent frayed, the seams gave away. Hillary couldn't hold it together. And in that unraveling, you can feel it. Urgency without agency. The urgency to hold on to progress without the agency to keep the coalition intact. And yet, the craving for Obama's steadiness never went away. The memory of competence, of charisma, of actual statesmanship, it lingered. So much so that in 2020, Democrats handed Joe Biden the largest primary vote total in Democratic primary history. Not because he was dazzling, not because he was revolutionary, but because he was familiar. A vessel of nostalgia, a custodian of Obama's legacy. And that's the thing about nostalgia. It's urgency without agency, a longing for what once was, with no clear power to replicate it. Now, Donald Trump is no Barack Obama. Obama had elegance, intelligence, wit, the whole statesman package. Trump, he's the knockoff. He's the bootleg Jordans at the strip mall, the forgotten Baldwin brother who never gets the close-up. And yet, here's the grotesque irony. Trump holds a similar gravitational pull over Republicans. He is their indispensable man, the sun their entire galaxy revolves around. And in his crude, 2-bit reality television way, he has expanded the Republican coalition. He's pulled in blue-collar workers, union households, suburban whites marinated in grievance. Republicans wanted an Obama of their own. What they got was a carnival barker, a repugnant salesman of resentment. But, and here's the terrifying part, they poured their hearts into him anyway. They built their hopes, their movement, their future on a man who can't even spell future. That's why Project 2025, this dystopian playbook for remaking America into something out of The Handmaid's Tale, depends entirely on Trump. Or at least a successor who can mimic his grotesque talent for uniting evangelicals, plutocrats, and the perpetually aggrieved under one circus tent. And here again, urgency without agency. The urgency to seize the country's direction, paired with the utter lack of agency to imagine it without Trump. Democrats tied their fate to Obama, and Republicans have done the same with Trump. The difference? Obama left behind dignity, hope, a belief in what's possible. Trump leaves behind a cult of grievance, a hollow promise, and the unsettling truth that a movement built around one man cannot survive without him. And listen, if you think JD Sleepy Vance is the answer, reapply your eyeliner. If you think Ron DeSantis is the answer, welcome to the Try Hard Club, where every day is an audition and Ron still can't stick the landing. And please, don't tell me you believe Greg Abbott is the answer, because I've got some shoe polish ready and you're going to do a lot of bootlicking when I'm done. The point is, this unholy matrimony wasn't well thought out, but the lasting effects will be more permanent than you can ever imagine. The incremental progress African Americans and other minorities have fought tooth and nail to achieve, it won't be incremental anymore. Because now that we're all in the mud, the high road is gone, destroyed, and it has to be rebuilt. And that is urgency without agency in its purest form. The urgency to act is undeniable. The agency to do so feels elusive. But history tells us this: out of moments and collapse and chaos comes direction. Out of despair comes reinvention. America will come out on top. But what she looks like on the other side, whether broken and diminished or renewed and resilient, depends on whether we treat this urgency as a warning or as an excuse to keep living without agency. That's my two. Thank you.
I'm Nelson. That's Javier. We will catch y'all on the next episode of the Protesters Riot. Oh, I'm sorry. And if you want to see the rest of this, because we're about to get into some shit, you want to see the rest of this, subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/YCC Entertainment. Now, NDA signers, we bid you adieu. This is the part where we say peace to you. Peace, free niggas.
Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right, far right, far right.
Protest, protest, protest. Protest, protest, protest.
If he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.